Hey everybody, welcome back to the Spinner Rack. I'm here with my boy, the PT himself. Say what's up, PT.
What's up?
Hey, today we're going to be talking about what's going to probably be one of the big hits for DC. Hopefully their big first win this year after, what did they just had a hit with?
They didn't have any wins.
Of course they've had wins.
What wins did DC have?
They just had a win
Flash?
with
Nope.
Barbie. Okay, but this is
You're
going to be
Warner
the first.
Brothers. Warner Brothers finally has a hit with Barbie. That's what you're trying to say.
Well, I'm saying
right?
DC,
Warner
Brothers.
no,
Right,
Warner
Brothers.
Brothers.
All right. But hopefully that good magic of Barbie rubs off on on Blue Beetle.
They already sold they're sold to Oppenheimer, so.
Well, they did. They both. I think it was both their movies. Well, look. Long story short, we're going to be doing a review of trailer review of Blue Beetle because we think it's going to be probably one of the next big hits for DC.
The next
Flashpoint
big
didn't hit. Flashpoint didn't hit, but this could be it.
Missed.
You never know. This could be the next Batman. So,
Shouldn't
Selector.
it be Spider-Man?
What we're talking about, DC. Batman, Selector, play the tape.
I don't think the audio's up.
Oops. Pause.
Look who screwed up.
I watch at 1.75 speed.
Why would? Oh my God! This is Mr. MTV generation. I had to watch it faster because I don't got time in my life. I do audiobooks, but at double speed. Wow, the Iliad was great.
Yo, it's just as good, bro. Unlike you, I don't have to worry about that. All right, so you're hitting hard. All right, cool. Okay, so do we need to do the intro?
You did, no.
So if you've seen...
They're going to see it.
No, I'm saying if you've seen the character... I don't know how to pronounce it. The main character from Karate Kid. Miguel.
Oh, yeah, Miguel, yeah.
Wow. Okay. The transformation
Did you know what was going to happen
of
to
the
my
people
brother
is cool.
when you stuck him with this world-destroying thing? It's called the scarab. I had no idea it would activate. It has to choose you.
So how do we get it to unchoose me?
Oh my gosh, the scarab goes in the top of his head. Yuck!
Systems tracking 3, 2.
Live in it. The music. I think this is the third Blue Beetle.
Threat approaching. Engaging host protection.
Whoa. That was a Deadpool. Whoa.
Eliminated.
Hey, that's the comedian. What's his name?
George Lopez.
With the power of the scarab, it belongs to me.
Oh, he's pissed.
So I guess there's more than one person with a scarab, huh? Are they showing us all the movies?
To protect, I have an arsenal at my disposal.
Anything, please?
Watch and learn, Jaime. Whatever you can imagine, I can create.
Yeah, that's more like it.
He's a superhero, whether he likes it or not.
He's like a Spider-Man, Iron Man. What do they call it? Iron Spider.
That's what makes me strong.
Oh, I forgot how bad it looks.
Target the family. Sorry, wait, Mom.
Oh wow, his family knows who he is.
You're the Blue Beetle. I could use that arsenal right about now.
God, you never asked.
Hell yeah.
It looks interesting.
Now, this part I did not like.
Oh, Grandma got the machine gun.
Be back away.
Oh my goodness.
Next week.
Yeah, and they even give you the comics. I think we have one here.
Oh no, Infinite Crisis.
Yeah,
No, we
they
don't
give you the
have
comics
that.
of what you should be doing. Grab the comic. I think we have
No, I don't want to
the Blue
grab the
Beetle
comic.
right?
I don't want to grab the comic book. We got to take out the plastic. I think
So-
I have the original one, but this is what a reprint, no special edition.
Yeah, so
Special edition.
yeah. Blue Beetle.
Oh God.
What is it? Jaime Reyes, I think is the character's name. So
There's
very interesting.
Another image of him.
it definitely gives you, and I know this definitely precedes this, but it definitely gives you the Iron Spider-Man vibe. I sometimes think Feige does this stuff on purpose. So when he was doing Spider-Man and what is it, Endgame?
Yeah.
When he comes out there and you see the character, is like he probably knew DC was doing Blue Beetle, just like how when he did Civil War, that's Batman versus Superman. You know, they say he does this stuff on purpose. So he's like, hey, Feige, the magician himself.
So what does Feige have to do with this?
I'm saying, isn't it interesting if people are going to look at it and say, hey, the very fact he has extra arms, it looks like the way the character is young, exuberant. They're going to say, hey, this is like another Spider-Man. You know, and DC has to make sure that they clearly create a different character. Well, you have a family one. The family dynamic is different. You know, I don't want to say Latino, but he is. And you have his family knows who he is. Whereas the Spider-Man is only Aunt May, his adopted parent. She doesn't know his secret identity. You know, it all depends on which comic you're reading. She doesn't know her secret identity. Well, here it seems that everybody does. So it's interesting. What I liked about it, the music is moving. I think a music always works well with with a video or a TV show to bring people in. The only thing that I think that's holding me back here is that it looks like they showed the whole show. Am I right? You see the big bad. You see the woman who's the overall trying to get it. And you see the guy who's going to find him. There has to be more to it than that. Hopefully, right? Cameos, hopefully.
I will say, I had this book. I don't know if I still have it in the house, but this is a very good book to go out and buy because it's by Cully Hamner. It's really the great art is really good. You see the art in this book?
Yeah, I saw the art in the book.
And you liked it, right?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, the artist is really good.
You know,
he's not a really prolific artist, but he was part of the old. Was it how do you say that? Like Gaijin Studios. It's like with the what was it like Japanese say for white people?
Oh, Gaijin.
Yeah, Gaijin Studios, which had Adam Hughes, what's the name, Joe Phillips, and Jason Pearson, a lot of great artists. I think Brian Stelfreeze, who did the Black Panther, and he was one of those guys that had that kind of hard-edged kind of style, little animation, but kind of Frank Miller kind of dynamics, sometimes photorealistic. So this one's a really good, and they're going to play off of that, but it's going to be a little more of the family. And this one, I think, is a little more just the friends, and he has family.
Right.
But they're going to be involving, because everyone seems to like to have the hero have a group of people he can rely on.
It takes a village, my friend. It takes a village.
Okay, okay. But, I guess Warner Brothers and DC deserves a win. So maybe even though it's like has the Spider-Man feel, Spider-Man shouldn't have had a voice in his head and a person share. So the Scarab, I don't remember the Scarab having too much of a voice, but
yeah, I don't see the Scarab having a voice in this.
So the Spider-Man, the Iron Man, this sort of thing. Ultimately, way movies works is if you do a flashback story. The next story, which was Pulp Fiction, which was kind of jumping around, you had something that was just as good in The Usual Suspects. So you can kind of use the form, use the characters, borrow as much as you want. Marvel definitely does Batman v Superman. They did Civil War, and they did score even bigger than Batman v Superman. So it's a possibility that this is going to work. And as I said again, they deserve a win, They've been struggling. They had some good movies. They had a good movie in Black Adam. They had a bad one in the Shazam, Fury of the Gods. Kind of misguided at points, in most points. And then you had the Flash. I just took a quick look at the beginning. It was a little rough for me. Did you watch the Flash?
I watched the Flash and I thought it was a good movie.
So
I don't
then
know.
they deserve a win in this one.
I think that
they deserve a win. Then.
The problem with some of these movies is that the price to do these things are so expensive, so they need to bring in a lot. This just seems to be a much smaller film, and so I expect that it's a smaller budget. It's not the typical 200 million budget that you have. You figure by now they should have been able to drop the cost of animation, of the green screens and all that type of stuff. But Hollywood,
Why? It's
everything
going
else,
up. Everything's going up.
right? But I'm saying, but
something render stuff faster. You got to
Right.
get more equipment.
But I'm just saying, right
More
now,
bandwidth.
if you try to do a movie using 2012 or 2020 technology, it should be less than 2023. If you're trying to do the top of the notch, that's one thing. But right now, look at your iPhone. Your iPhone right now has as much capabilities as something
I
from
want
back in
to
the
quote
2000s.
the top of the notch, not just the top notch. The top of the notch. So keep going.
So that's what I'm saying. I'm hoping that they it's made at a decent cost so they can come back. I hope it has a great story. It looks good, I just hope that I have not seen the entire story. When they show you that's the only problem. Because if they showed us everything, then what's the point of going? Might as well just wait till it comes out on Max and call it a day. I really want to support. I like this character from the actor from Karate Kid. He's excellent. I can't remember his name, but I think that I would definitely go out there and support the movie. I like George Lopez. He's always funny as
Yes,
hell.
George Lopez is a cross between Rodney Dangerfield and Richard Pryor. If you put the two of them together, you get George Lopez.
I think George Lopez was a lot better than those two combined.
What do you think? You saying look better or?
Yeah, if you have a baby between those two, he's like, ugh, that's an ugly baby. You know what I'm trying to
I'm not
say?
saying the look, the comedy, because it's
I
times you
get it.
see
I know I'm
him
joking with
touching
you.
his collar at times, and then sometimes the
Clearly
delivery
the
has a
influence.
lot of Richard Pryor in his comedy. But he's a natural comedian. Side note, if you've ever seen the first George Lopez show, because who was it? Sandra Bullock was the person behind it. Sandra Bullock missed her calling in doing TV because she's on there, and the two of them just would play around. So that's just a side note that doesn't relate to anything.
Well, I
so.
think it does. I mean, hey, when you're a movie star, you do one movie a year or two. When you're a TV artist, you're a working man.
Yeah.
You got to plug out those 26 episodes. So yeah. So hey, we are out. We definitely want to see Blue Beetle. It looks very interesting, and we'll give you a review of the movie when it comes out.
But yeah, check out this. If you haven't, check out this comic book. It's really good. I don't know how many issues Cully Hammer did. They might not be too overpriced, but you can get this comic and then get some other comics with it.
Okay, spin a rack.